people. Welcome. Well, it's that time of year again. Summer has drawn to a close and fall is in its infancy, which means that more people are getting married this time of year, which also means I'm going to be busy making a lot of wedding cards. So, yeah, I'm pretty busy. In this month alone, I have 2 weddings and 1 wedding vow renewal. Weddings are a pretty big deal where I live, and getting gifts and cards for the couple can get pretty pricey. There is also sometimes pressure to get the couple something special and personalized, which can cost even more money. And sometimes you just don't have that kind of dough, especially if you already invested in a pretty expensive gift for them. So what you do? Well, I would suggest making a card on your own. People love that kind of stuff. You can't go wrong with handmade, unless you do. The very first thing that you'll want to do is look at the invitation that you get from the couple. This will be your base on which to design the card with. You don't need to make it exactly like the invites, but it will give you ideas at least. Sometimes people will set up groups and pages on Facebook or even websites for these sort of things. Maybe you've even seen some of their decor inspiration online and you can use that to get ideas. Take note of what you see. Is everything simple or more fancy? What kind of writing did they use? What colors did they choose? Is it nature-inspired, modern, classical, or something very different? What is the overall energy that you get from the invitation, website, group, page, or mood board? After examination, you can write down all the words that describe what you saw and felt. Next, you may want to look up some more inspiration using the words you wrote down. You can use Google, but I strongly recommend Pinterest. I know that people make fun of it because they think that the only things on there are farmhouse stuff, but guys, there's so much more to it. It actually caters to your interests and updates as you look up more things. This video isn't sponsored by Pinterest, unfortunately, but I do have a Pinterest account, and I think that it would be cool if you all would follow me on there. I share DIY ideas I've made as well as other people's projects, so please check it out if you want. But anyway, after you've gotten all the pics that you need, it's time to sketch. The sketch doesn't need to be perfect. As long as you understand what it means, you're good. As you're sketching, consider the things you could use to achieve the effect that you want your card to have. Maybe flowers, ribbon, burlap, paint, etc. Think about how you could arrange all the elements to make it look good. Have the materials together and think about how they will look next to each other. Swatch the paint colors you want to use and see how it would look on the paper. Oh, that reminds me, paper. Paper is extremely important in card making. I do not recommend using printer paper. Use cardstock at least. It's thicker and sturdier. I personally like to use watercolor paper because it's very thick. It's a good investment if you like to create. Be sure that you have an envelope that the card will fit in, otherwise you're going to have a problem. After all of that, you are ready to make your card. Keep in mind that sometimes creating doesn't always end up where you would expect it to. Sometimes you'll find that something else would work better than what you've planned, and that's okay. I think that we can all agree that life is the same way. It's a good thing we can have God as our guide. Life doesn't always end up like we expect it to, but it's all a process. We don't need to get down about it because we should always remember that God is not finished with us. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29:11. Your card may not be the best thing ever, but as long as you did it in earnest, you should be happy that you were able to create something for someone else. Even if the couple getting it doesn't appreciate it, God will, because He loves it when we're kind and sincere. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. Ephesians 4:32. With that being said, I would really like to see how you guys made your own wedding cards. Did you follow my process or something very different? Let me know in the comments below. Also, feel free to link your project too. If you do, you can have the chance to have your work be featured in the next video. you want to stay up to date on any new projects or DIYs I create, you can follow me on Pinterest, Facebook, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, which coincidentally is where you're watching this video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would do that. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and peace out.